That sounds good. I'm a beautiful fight. I want all those all rounds. All rounds.
In a recent video released by the Most Valuable Promotions, many boxing fanatics and experts have raised the alarm about Mike's deteriorating state, claiming that if he is allowed to go any further, he might end up with irreparable damage. Looking back at what led Tyson to this point, from the very first announcement of this event, it was apparent to those with keen knowledge of the sports that Mike is not physically fit in the way a heavyweight fighter should be, especially if they are challenging a younger guy like Jake Paul. However, despite all these evident warnings, Mike and his team continued with his intense workouts, where he would labor away for more than 6 hours in the gym with minimum rest. Though this strategy might have worked when Tyson was young and resilient, now it is only eating him away from the inside.
Are you training hard?
I'm training extremely hard, yeah.
How many hours a day?
I start at 11.
11 a.m.?
No, yeah, 11 in the morning.
Oh, no.
I start at 11, and I might leave the gym at 5.
Oh, all right. Okay, that's good.
Day 2, I'm getting ready for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice left hook. Up.
Was good for today.
Yeah.
I tried it too.
Sure?
Yeah, me
yes.
too.
The main incident that really fueled the fire among the boxing community was Mike's health scare earlier this year, which even led to the postponement of the fight. But Mike did not stop and continued on his camp while simultaneously making countless hollow reassurances that he was fine and healthy, and even resorting to threatening those who claimed otherwise.
I don't feel what the word old. I don't feel that.
No.
I'm very prepared. I had a small adversity. I got sick, but I'm better. I feel good. I'm a fighter. I feel good and I can do it. I feel I can beat this guy. Come on. If you think I'm too old for this fight, you need to come tell me in my face. Whoa.
You won't. You won't.
Whoa.
After such baseless comments were made by Tyson, many people and experts in the industry, including Mike's opponent Jake, jumped forward to share their analysis, emphasizing that no matter what, no one can defeat age, and whoever thinks otherwise is just delusional, and that Mike is not the only reason that this fight has garnered a lot of attention.
Yeah, you had to go on your little menopause break and postpone the fight, so yeah. What about that, dog? I was ready before. You needed a little break. Your tummy hurt? Your tummy hurt still?
I feel a lot better now.
So like you can flaunt and parade around town saying that you're number one, you're the face of this, but I'm the most followed, humbly, like the most followed boxer, the most engaged, the most all the things,
Anthony Joshua, who is an eminent heavyweight boxer, also thinks that it is not fair to solely give credit for the hype surrounding this fight to Tyson, because Jake has done a lot more by bringing a whole new audience to the sport, which could not have been possible in any other way.
Let's say we divided this crowd in half, and you've got half of the people that are hardcore boxing fans and half of the people that love a certain person that's into YouTube.
Like a YouTuber, yeah.
But that person brings all of these people into boxing, which benefits everyone else that's involved.
Some of them.
Disregarding the continuous hatred directed towards Jake, Anthony stated that the main reason people are against Jake is because of their bias towards Tyson, which blinds them and hinders them from accepting that Jake is a phenomenal businessman who has done wonders for the sport.
What do you think of this trend at the moment of YouTubers entering the world of boxing? Because Jake Paul's about to fight Mike Tyson, isn't he?
Yes.
What do you think about this trend?
Well, I personally think it's really good. I think that the boxing hardcores, like the boxing fanatics, they don't like it because it's like, why are they disrespecting our sport? There's an Olympic system that you have to go through, and once you're qualified there, then you go through to the professional ranks. Whereas someone with a profile can just come out of nowhere and fight one of the best guys.
According to Anthony, this fight will most probably go in Jake's favor based on how Mike has been looking in recent months and how it looks as if age might be catching up to him, which is quite normal for any fighter his age, especially if they have gone through some illness or injury in recent times.
The only thing I'm worried about is father time. That's one thing that has never been beat. And Tyson's, he's older now. But I pray that he comes out healthy, but I think Jake Paul because of youth. That's the only thing, because of the youth.
Just like Jake and Anthony, Adi Oladipo, who is a notable promoter of DAZN Official, believes this fight to be ludicrous, stating that though Mike Tyson is a boxing icon who seems to have unprecedented talent, he is deluding himself if he thinks that he can win this bout.
So I will watch it, but let's be honest, it's nonsense. It is nonsense. You got a 58-year-old Tyson fighting Jake Paul, and like, I'm a huge Mike Tyson fan. When you think of it, Mike Tyson obviously was at his peak at 2021. Mike Tyson was out of his peak at 28. Mike Tyson has been out of his peak for 30 years. When you think of it, it's crazy. I'd watch two guys falling out of a pub fighting though, so I don't know if it means so much me saying yes, I would watch it, but I hate it. I absolutely hate the fight. It makes no sense to me. Mike Tyson's 58 years of age. He hasn't fought since, I mean, unless we're counting the Roy Jones fight professionally, since 2005. Hasn't won a fight since 2003.
Criticizing Mike and his team's choice, Adi questioned the motive that might have pushed a fighter of Tyson's caliber to accept such a fight, knowing well enough that he was not up for this challenge.
And he's not like he's a fit 58-year-old either. This isn't a guy that could run 2 marathons back to back. He clearly had health problems, and you know, I remember a video recently, I think it was about 6 or 7 months ago, where he was in a wheelchair. What's he doing? I honestly don't understand it at all. I mean, Jake's a young, healthy, fit, strong, big guy that can actually box a bit and punch, so I don't quite get it.
Adi also appeared unsatisfied by Mike's progress so far, based on how no one on the internet has really witnessed him sparring anyone for a longer duration. And according to the inside reports, Mike's age is catching up to him as he often gets tired and worn out during these sessions.
And I'm not fooled by these little 4-second clips that are sped up. I want to see, give me 30 seconds, and then I can make my mind up. I'm not sure, you know, these little 4-second hitting the pads thing. He did that for us against Roy Jones Jr., and then that fight kind of obviously didn't deliver. I thought Roy was holding back in that fight, actually. So look, I don't like it.
Sharing the same opinion as Adi, former MMA fighter and expert at Chael Sonnen also blasted Mike's team for the improper and overly extended time duration of the training camp and the dangerous repercussions that it seems to be having on Mike's general health.
That in 2 months, everything's going to be just right. And I wish he would have gone further with that. Like, is this part of the training process? Is part of the peaking process? Because see, I've always wondered, but I know you have too. 2 months, by the way, guys, is not very long. 2 months to do a 2-month training camp, to do a 3-month training camp. That works just fine when you're competing 3 times a year. So now all of a sudden you're closer to 6 to 9 months of actual training. And then in those other 3 to 5 months that just happen to exist on the calendar, you're still doing something.
To prove his point about Mike being worn out by this excess work, Chael looked back at the old veteran's appearance at the Texas Stadium alongside Jake Paul, where Mike looked tired and frustrated. Keeping these facts in mind, Chael commended Jake's preparation, emphasizing that even though the young fighter lacks certain skills and boxing IQ, he is tenacious and strong, which gives him a clear edge over Mike, who is nowhere near the level he claims to be.
But Mike is a little bit older, so he's not any better. Jake is older, but at the right time of his life where you do get better, and Mike had no more experiences, so he didn't get any better. He had no more training, so he didn't get better. Jake had lots of experiences and lots of training, so Jake got meaningfully better.
Highlighting another downside for Mike in the upcoming bout, Chael emphasized that Mike, despite all his remarkable attributes and tenacious spirit, has been away from the professional boxing ring for a very long time, which can play a crucial role in this bout.
But Mike is a little bit older, so he's not any better. Jake is older, but at the right time of his life where you do get better, and Mike had no more experiences, so he didn't get any better. He had no more training, so he didn't get any better. Jake had lots of experiences and lots of training, so Jake got meaningfully better. So if you're questioning at all who would have won that night, if you're even on the fence of, I don't know who, maybe it would have been Jake. If you're even on the fence, then it is without question that you should be betting on Jake to win this one.
Brendan Schaub, a notable boxing analyst and a former MMA fighter, thinks that these claims from Mike about being in the best condition possible are absurd because it is quite evident to everyone that at Mike's old age, the excruciating training that he has been participating in is damaging him.
Will I watch it? Hell yeah, I love Jake. I hope it is the most watched fight of all time for Jake and Mike Tyson. I love Mike Tyson, love Jake. Jake's my boy. I hope it f***ing crushes. But for the life of me, I cannot figure out the upside to this. And I saw Mike Tyson on an interview with Henry Cejudo. He's like, what is age? We don't know anybody's age. He's like, you know, they tell you you're that old, but I don't feel 50. You're like, oh, okay, this is it. Then you're 58. Who says that? Well, your birth certificate. You know, there's ways we can track it. You know, he's like, who makes up 365 days a year? And you're like, whoa, this is not the narrative. To say that age isn't real, like, this can't be the best move to get people to buy this. I don't get it. But Mike's smart, Jake's smart. I think there's a much bigger play at hand.
Another notable aspect that Brendan highlighted was that due to these factors and the constant refusal to admit the very obvious, people are beginning to lose interest in this fight altogether because the outcome is clear in the form of Jake's victory.
Before, like, that fucked it all up. I don't get the upside. Jake's team's brilliant, so maybe I need to talk to them. There's some sort of upside. Maybe it's a Trojan horse, like I've said before, where, hey, just get this across, we'll get the views, and then, you know, they're gonna sign you a 3-fight, some sort of deal, or he gets the UFC into game here. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't see the upside.
Michael Bisping, who is a famed combat analyst and former MMA fighter, shares the same views as the majority and has issued countless warnings concerning Mike's health going into this fight based on the fact that no man or fighter can ever defeat time. And though Jake might not be one the same level as Mike in terms of skills, he is still the bigger and stronger guy capable of seriously injuring Mike with a single precise shot.
If you put the man to sleep, if you knock him out, if you were to kill Mike Tyson in the squared circle, which is a real risk, sadly, that does happen. He's an older man. He's almost a pensioner. If you do that, I say charge you with manslaughter because this is grade A horse.
Not thinking of this fight as a serious or impactful one, Michael pointed out how after looking back to the numerous events leading up to this fight, Mike does not appear to be all that concerned about the outcome, which further raises questions about the authenticity of the entire thing.
And I think that's what Mike Tyson's using this whole thing as. A reason to train, a reason to get in shape, to challenge himself, to test himself, to have a bit of fun. Yeah, okay, make some money along the way, but use Jake Paul as just a reason to occupy your mind, to get better, and as I say, improve your health. And yeah, make some money along the way. Why not?
Ken Shamrock, who is a former professional wrestler from Mike's time period, also shared his reservations about this fight and his legality, and also refrained from giving any solid prediction of the fight due to his elusive nature and the unusual pairing of opponents, especially Mike, who is not in the condition to step inside the ring on the 15th of November.
If it does happen, it's those guys, they'll put on a show. They'll put on a show. It'll be a fight, but it's not going to be a title fight.
If you were to bet on this fight, who would you put your money on?
I won't. I won't because I don't know what the true outcome would be. I don't. I mean, I'm not saying that someone's going to throw the fight. I'm not saying that at all, but I am saying that Mike Tyson is not his best.
Yes.
He is not what he used to be.
Elaborating on his stance, Ken emotionally commented on how for Tyson to step inside the ring at this point is devastating and a tragedy for the sport, especially after what he has achieved in his life, because there is no chance for him to come out victorious or unscathed in this bout.
I do. I think everything he's done for boxing and what he's done in his career, he doesn't need this. No. He doesn't need this.
I can understand why he's doing it, but no one wants to see Jake Paul really hurt Mike Tyson, and that might actually happen just because of age, overall size now. Like, you know, Tyson already canceled once because I guess he hurt himself in training.
Giving props to Jake for what he has been able to achieve in such a short period, no matter the criticism for his recent decision to fight an old champion. Ken stated that based on his power and his tenacious spirit, Jake will not only win this bout, but might also be able to solidify his name in the division and create a legacy.
But the problem remains is whether or not Mike can last long enough to be able to land a punch. Because if he doesn't, Jake Paul's going to beat him because Jake Paul's a good boxer. I think what Jake Paul and them guys are doing is brilliant. I really do. I think him never fighting a contender but making more money than any world championship fight is brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's brilliant. But this one's not good. This one's not good.
Joseph Parker, a notable heavyweight boxer, agrees with Ken about this fight being a car crash and a calamity, stating that after noticing the self-destructive path that Tyson seems to be on, no real boxing fan will ever get excited about this event because deep down, everyone knows that Jake Paul is winning this event against an old and frail Tyson.
So it's just, I think it's a hard fight to watch. It will be a hard fight to watch because you just don't want to see Mike. If Mike comes out and knocks him out, listen, I'm all for boxing and all for big fights, but Mike Tyson is a legend, and no matter how great he was in the past with the ferocious style that he had and punches that he thrown and knocking everyone out, 58 years old is old for a fighter. And Jake Paul has the youth on the side, and with each fight he is getting better and better.
Joseph also talked about the brief training and sparring clips that have been posted by Tyson and his team, emphasizing that even though Mike appears to be ferocious on the pads and bag, no one really knows what goes on behind closed doors, and if the videos they have been witnessing really show the real potential of current 58 years old Mike.
The power, I think, is the last thing to go, but at 58 years old, how much power is left? And you know, we do see short clips, but you're right, we're not sure what happens before and after those clips. Yeah. So just we'll see.
So what do you guys think about this fight? Are you excited about it with only a few days left, or are you also concerned about Mike's health, just like all the experts, fearing that the old warrior might have pushed a little too hard? Or do you think these concerns hold no depth because Mike still has what it takes to drop fighters down? Make sure to tell us about your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to our channel.